Now that the Heroescon dust has finally settled, come kick it with me and let me show off my first part of my huge comic book convention haul. What is up, all you beautiful legends? I hope you guys are having a great week and happy Wednesday. I will say right off the rip, it's weird being in front of the camera again. I was vlogging and kind of doing that kind of style for the past few days, and I really enjoy that a lot more than being in front of the camera. So stay tuned for more of that kind of content in the future. But before we get to any of all that, wow, Heroescon. What a weekend, man. This year was definitely better than last year. Last year was the first time I was going to a comic book convention ever. It was the first time meeting all the homies, all the community members. So it was a little kind of overwhelming. I wasn't really super comfortable, and it took me a while to kind of get my feel of the con. But this year I was going in totally different, total different mindset, had the relationship with all the friends, had that whole 2 years to build up and everything. So it was just definitely a different experience for the better. But first, shout out to Carla and everybody attached to the Heroescon staff, anybody of the volunteers, the workers, anybody that put their time to the event. Just want to say thank you to the bottom of my heart just for doing this event. To me, this is the best comic book convention, the only true comic book convention left in the United States. I know there's other big cons or comic book conventions, and they might be similar, but nothing touches the artist interaction, the comic book vibe, and just how this comic convention is set up. So as you notice, I am rocking the Press Pass badge. So again, shout out to everybody behind there. It was my first time attending as a Press Pass member. I hope I did the convention right. Me and Lady Durs, we filmed a lot, we did a lot of interviews, and just took in the con for a whole. And like I said, if you're missing any YouTube content, I do have a whole playlist of all the content I've been dropping, and anything behind the scenes, any pictures, anything like that, any reels are all on my Instagram. So this will be broke up into two parts. This is going to be kind of the AOK and miscellaneous things with my prints and my books. So this one's going to be fire. I have something really special to show off and a first for my collection, and I actually picked up one of my gold books for this year. But we'll show you off. There's the front and back of the pamphlet for the Heroescon. Not going to go through that, just going to kind of show that off. And then wanted to make sure I highlight the homie Vlogs. Hooked me up with some Eagles cards and sports cards when I seen him, and we'll just kind of go through this. I have a pile of stuff. Big shout out to Digger Jim. He always gives these coins. This is the 1957 wheat penny, found 4/14/24. He does metal detecting. So I wanted to show that off. And the super cool Hoarder's Hide. I think it's like a challenge coin or some kind of coin. It's very heavy duty. Sure, it's not cheap to make, so big shout out to him. Scott, awesome to meet you. So yeah, awesome to have that, something to hold on to. And let's see, where are we going? We'll just go right here. So if you notice my new logo, I have that all rolled out and everything. And the guy behind my logo is Dan, Art in Motion. He was there at the con. A couple people, Brian LCS, Naaman, a couple Rob Fatstacks, they picked up sketch covers for him. But Naaman was doing interviews and doing sketch cards and stuff like that. And he actually collabed with Dan for my sketch card. So I'm pretty sure Dan did the pencils and Naaman did all the inking on it. But this is a dope little spawn. Hopefully you can see that. And anything you can't see, I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this video or how it's going to look at the end. But if you can't see it, just there's pictures there. So just expect that for anything. So this is phenomenal, and it was the first time Dan ever collabed with anybody. So absolutely honored to have that. I'm going to get a little frame for it. Next, if you saw any footage with me and artist Martin Zavala, he was there doing his airbrush thing, did a phenomenal Ghost Rider that DJ Lynx actually bought at the art auction. But you're going to see me talk about him more at the end. But he actually gave me one of these. And again, it's going to be hard to show. I'm just showing kind of the smaller things first. But this is a Spawn card from Spawn Con 2024 or 2023 from last year. It's actually the artist edition, and it's a 1 of 250. And it's supposed to have like a blank little sketch on it. But it was super dope, man. I love talking to him. I have a whole clip thing on Instagram, but I'm gonna do something on here with more of the artist things. But he was phenomenal. He does amazing airbrush stuff. You'll get into it later. But next time I see him, big shout out to you, man. I'm definitely gonna get something on that. Next we do, CGC has their pin game where you can go up, run up to the booth, you do a pin pull, and you can do one a day. And of course, we got the 9.8 and the 0.5, so nothing crazy, but a couple other community members did get those 10s. But they were doing a new thing this year where it was like an Easter egg hunt where they hid golden eggs all around the con, and they posted little clues on their story, and one of the clues was the homie John Jang's booth, so we instantly knew where that was. And another one was a booth that only had like black backing on the metal racks, and there's only like 2 or 3 booths in the con that didn't have white ones. So me and Lady Durs both found eggs, and she pulled, let's see, this is a Marvel Loki, Marvel Anime Volume 2, Upper Deck, and she got a Gem Mint 10, so hopefully you can see that on the camera right there. If not, I got pictures for you. And then I pulled one, and this was cool, 9.5 Cosmic Ghost Rider, but this one's the actual Rose Besh version, and she wasn't there Sunday, but this would have, because we got these both Sunday, but this would have been perfect because she was actually at the con, and I would have loved to get that signed by her. So we'll move on to kind of the AOK stuff and other last miscellaneous things, but this is a first for my collection. I never wanted to buy anything signed by this man, the GOAT of the industry in my opinion. I always wanted to meet him to get something signed, but shout out to Alan, the Comic Viking, shout out to Beckerman. They do a monthly giveaway, and I actually won one of their giveaways on their YouTube, and Beckerman threw this in, and this is the Spallmobile, the one that just sold. And if you see, signed by the Todd Father himself. So this is the first Todd McFarlane signature in my collection. Like I said, spawned over everything for me, but I was trying really hard to not ever buy anything that was already signed. I always wanted to meet him and have that first experience, but now that I got one, I feel like it's unleashed the floodgates. So we'll see, but that was phenomenal. Next, we have, sticker packs. Shout out to Lynx, shout out to Brian LCS. New stickers there. But something that meant a lot to me was I actually got to meet Paul from ABX Comics and Game, who's my online LCS. Never met him, I just interacted with him in the phone and the messages, and ever since starting with him, it's been phenomenal. But Mark over at Legion of Comics gave me one of these patches. He said there's only like 5 or 6 of these that exist. It's the Augusta Book Exchange. Nice little patch. I'm going to put this in a nice little frame with everything else that I get. But I thought this was super meaningful. Absolutely phenomenal to finally meet Paul, because like I said, I've only talked to him online always, and I've only talked to him on the phone every Wednesday when I make my payment. But shout out to ABX if you need a comic shop, if you need anything like that. All their details are always listed in my videos. So let's get to the books and stuff, and then my next video, part 2, will be all the signatures and all the stories behind there. So I have issues 2, 3, I have all the issues for this, but I didn't have issue 1. I missed it when it came out. So big shout out to, again, Alan the Comic Viking, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, issue number 1. So now I can finally read the story. I'm not a reseller or specker or anything like that, but I heard it was a great story and wanted to read it. And now, as you can see, shout out to Tyler over at Shattered Glass Shattered Glass Tyler. Sorry, I'm all over the place, man. It's been a long weekend, and this is the first time I've really actually sat and kind of took a break and filmed. But he hooked me up with the Superior stand. So big shout out to them, so now I can actually have a nice little stand for all my videos. Next, you've seen it all over the place, you've seen it everywhere. Like I said, I'm just showing off the things that aren't signed and the kind of books I picked up and things. But Comics Curing Cancer, Miko Sawan, it was awesome seeing them there. Rob Fatstacks, DJ Lynx, Mark over at Legion of Comics, and it was great to see them have a booth with Austin there signing, Matt Wilson, Zavala, who's at Showtell Arts as well. They just had all the homies. It was a great time. But the reason I took this out, I just wanted to show off the back. I love the back. Got their logo. Shout out to Nelson over at Big Time Collectibles as well that supplied all these. But yeah, I think there's a few of these left. Check DJ Links. I think it's djlinks.bigshop.cartel. But all his stuff will be linked. Anybody I talk about, anybody referenced in this video, will be talked about in the description. Sorry, I just want to put this away so nothing happens to it. Oh, I forgot about this. 2 more AOKs left. First time ever even seeing one of these. Chris the Comic Vet. Shout out to League Squad up north, as he says. But he is known for his Walmart packs and everything. And I've told him I've never seen, I think he brought a bunch of these actually. But he has a video on his thing where he opens up like a pallet of Walmart packs, so it might be from that. But he told me he wanted me to open this on my channel. So we're just gonna get into it right now as we go. So if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, hit that pinned comment if you're new around here. I always have weekly content, and I always have a Friday Positivity where I talk about mental health and collecting. And then I'm always live every Sunday at 6 p.m. This Sunday we are back finally, just a couple weeks off. So let's show you guys. Oh, cool little backer right there. So show you guys first. We have Harley Quinn Betrayed every stinking time. So we'll go real quick through these, but like I said, I wanted to open these on my channel. Open these for Chris. Got that one. Lois Lane number 11. That out of the way. Let me move this Todd. Let me move a couple of these things just so I have a little bit of room. Let's see, we got this one. Oh, that's a cool cover. Oh, that's a Leon Hook. Batgirl 46. So that's a keeper. So I dig that one. And then final one. Wonder Woman 84 Museum Mayhem. Not a fan of that, but I am a fan of this one. So big shout out to Chris, and I finally got to open a pack on my channel. Last of the AOK stuff. Huge, I forget who got this from Mark, but big shout out from Mark, you know, Ghost Machine Bros for life. This is Junkyard Joe, issue number 1, the Coliseum of Comics cover. Absolutely gorgeous cover. Love the color palette on that one. So definitely a fan of that, so another big shout out to Mark. Next, talked about them before. Anytime I go to a con, anytime I see these guys, Mythic Legions, 4 Horsemen Cabal, shout out to Big Dub, shout out to all those guys, Seth, you know, OG Geek, and like I said, all the crew that I've watched for years on YouTube that's not in our community, that are more of the toy-centric focus. They have this coin that you get with the purchase. You're not going to be able to see that, but it's another cool coin. But this, you know, I'm a McFarlane guy, but these are all original toys, action figures, and the reason I pick them up when I see them at the con, because this guy was $50, and aftermarket, he's like $125, $150, upwards of $200. So Mythic Legions are not cheap when it comes to aftermarket. So anytime I see them at a con or anything, I always want to hit them up. I always want to talk to them. But this one is actually, what's this dude's name? I totally forget, because they all have lore and everything. They have stories, they have books surrounded them. Basically, he's a genie. He's a dope genie. But I'm going to have an unboxing, putting him together and all that. So let's see where we're at with here. Oh, we're down to the books. We'll save this one for last. So I literally bought, I really bought only one comic book at the entire convention, because some of those other things don't really count, but I was hunting one book in one book in particular. But I found each of these for $1, and I thought it was really cool. This is Wizard issue number 62. You know I'm gonna pick it up. Spawn, like I said, $1, can't beat that. I wonder if the stand holds this. Boom, shout out to Superior Stand. And then Wizard issue number 11. This one's my favorite. This is the classic one. This was the one I've been looking for because it has the first interview with Todd McFarlane in here. And then it also has that OG poster that I'm going to keep in here. But yeah, this is right when Spawn was releasing in '92. So it's kind of all images, kind of first kind of stuff. So for $1, I'm not going to pass that up. But at the end of the day, I was going there for signatures. I was going there to hang with the homies. And yeah. Next, I was super hyped for get this. I got it for $20 for a bundle. Dana Warren Johnson, baby. Extremity. No, I did not get these signed. You're going to see what I got done by him next video. Stay tuned because it is phenomenal. But I wanted to pick these up because I have not read them. But yeah, this is it, baby. This is the book. This is the one I've been hunting. I've been hunting it. Not really hunting it, but anytime I see it, I always look for it for about a year. Never found it at a good price or the condition I wanted, and I wanted to make sure it was a newsstand. Kaiju, baby. Godzilla, issue number 1 for Marvel Comics. Yes, the price tag says $80, but I did not pay that price. I actually asked him what's the best price he could do, and he came right at me with $50. So I sold on that. And this is definitely probably, I'd say like a 7.5, 8.0, maybe even a 8.5 with a clean and press. But this is phenomenal. One of the books I've been hunting for a while, and just happy to have this. I actually picked this up on day 1. So that's the books and random stuff and everything out of the way. So now I need to pause, clean this up, and you're gonna see one of my favorite parts, so stay buddy. Now that we got everything cleaned up and out of the way, we'll kind of show all of this part off. And this is kind of my favorite part of the haul besides the signatures. But again, big shout out to Paul. If you don't know, Scotty Young did his Little Marvels set. He's having a whole bunch of covers, but this is the actual poster that came with it, and I got that. Was going to get it signed, but the line was long. Did get something signed by Scotty, and stay tuned for the next part and you'll hear the story behind that one. This is the Bran Flakes print from, again, shout out to DJ Links, shout out to Mark and Rob, Comics Human Cancer. You'll see a closer look. I don't have a frame for these, so I don't want to undo them yet or anything, but this is that Bran Flakes print. And anything I show, I'm going to kind of, like I said, I'm going to edit this and do it all together, but anything I show, I'm going to pop up their information or IG stuff right on the screen or a close-up picture or anything so you guys can see it as well. This, I was surprised, and it was a shame I found this dude on the last day, because the last day is normally, I get everything done on like the first and second day if I can. That way, it's kind of the last part of Saturday, and then all of Sunday, I can just kind of do whatever I want, hunt books, dig through boxes, and just walk around and film and kind of really enjoy the con. But I didn't even see this dude's booth until the last day, and this was actually one of the Spawnuary winners, and fanboy, man. I'm in love with this dude's art. And again, I'm not sure if you can find these, but these were just $5 little prints, and I had to pick these up. We'll see if we can get that close. But there's this Spider-Man, and if you guys ever read, I think it was Scary Stories, Are You Afraid of Scary Stories in the Dark or whatever, that horror novel when we were kids, that's what this artwork reminds me of. This is that Ghost Rider. All his stuff is just so horrific. I think his name was DJ Space Art or whatever, and here's that Spawn. So fire. Definitely gonna have to get a sketch cover or something done by that guy in the future. Phenomenal. Like I said, make sure you go check it out at his page. Next, shout out to Mike. This was for something for the VIPs. This was done by Clyde Caldwell, and this was like the VIP kind of Conan logo. So he didn't want to fly with this home, so he hooked me up with that. All this stuff I will be getting framed as well. This was super dope, and this means a lot to me. As you know, my logo, current logo, the Stay Legendary, Collecting with Durs, I've shown them both off, but Dan actually kept and brought the original like concept pieces that he did. So there's kind of the first one. It's kind of like on that Bristol board or whatever it's called. There's kind of like a concept with the blood dripping. There's one with the logo and the blood or the airbrush paint behind it. And he did all this by hand. This is all hand drawn, and he was actually at the con. And this is kind of the finished one that he said it took 3 days to dry all that blood. But I thought these were super dope. I had these signed these, so I'm gonna definitely get these framed. I'm probably gonna show off both of these, have both of those framed, and yeah, man, Dan's the man. Big shout out to him. This was just, again, random. I didn't want to go hard on the prints, but I got a couple. Like I said, got a couple. But this was just kind of the random one-off one, and this was from Michelle Overholt. Never heard of her before, but she was awesome. Oh, she's got a card in here. So yeah, I'll pop up all her Instagram stuff. But look at that Master Chief. She had phenomenal stuff as well. She had a bunch of Elden Ring sketches that she was drawing, and man, another booth that I instantly fell in love with. So you know I'm a big gamer, so I had to grab that. Lastly, I talked about it before, talked about it with the Spawn card, but Martin Zavala, man, I was so hyped to see him there. He does airbrush work like I've never seen before. I talked to him for like a half hour, 45 minutes while he was signing and doing all these things, and it was just awesome. It was just phenomenal. So picked up a couple prints from him as well, and look at that Anakin. Man, it's just his likeness and realism are insane, and got them all signed down there as well. So that one is incredible. And then picked up one, Lady Dirt, she's a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan, so grab that one. And then to match the Spawn Biggie up there, I grabbed the Venom Biggie, and it got a little smeared with the bag, but that's all right. But the cream of the crop from this, and how I found out about Martin Zavala was actually from the Spawnuary contest, so I'm recently new to being a fan of him, and he actually had this Spawnuary like original cover there with him, so it was awesome to see the Shannon Bears. Oh, that's dope, dude. Like, how long do I realize somebody actually knows
you get 2 bodies, and then 2 heads. 2 of JD's, 2 of this. So it's 8 people. And 1 custom. I don't even like to kill it.
But I picked up this epic gunslinger, and I'm not sure if you're gonna see, but the whole thing's embossed and glossy and like glittery or whatever. But he hit this is like blood splatter, like blew on the pen, gave it that effect, gave it that blood splatter or whatever, nailed it with the signature, and just phenomenal. The dude is amazing. I love talking to Spawn about him. I loved hearing about his graffiti work and everything. So all the information will either be flashed up on the screen, that way you guys can take it down for yourself, pause it on the video, or it will be linked down in the description. Again, we'll find out in editing what happens and how this video pieces together. So again, thank you to all the staff and anybody involved with the Heroescon C3 booth. Dan, like you said, I'm going to save some of the shout outs for next video for the signatures, but stay tuned for that. Like I said, I took a whole short box with me. I didn't get every book signed, but I did knock out a bunch of my goals. So let me know what your favorite from this. Let me know if you went to Heroescon, and make sure you check out any footage that I've been dropping recently, because it is all Heroescon related, and it's going to be Heroescon related until I take care of all my, take care of my business. Got to do them right. They treated me right, so now I'm definitely gonna give them their flowers. So make sure you check them out next weekend, next year. It will be the weekend after Father's Day, so maybe more people can come. Maybe it will be easier for them. So I hope to see you on my next video. It should be my Friday Positivity, which will be making a return this Friday at 10:30 a.m. And yeah, we'll be back live Sunday and getting back to the swing of things and get back to the real world, unfortunately. So I hope to see you for part 2. Stay legendary, and as always, I hope you guys find what you're looking for. Thank you.